What's up, everyone? I want to show you all the Expedition set. Now, this set was made by Wizards of the Coast towards the end of their license agreement with the Pokemon Company. This set is pretty awesome. It has some good artworks, definitely some good holographs. There are reverse holos of all these as well. So if you want to complete the set, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. Essentially, it's probably going to cost you around $12,000 for everything, probably raw, especially some of these cards, which we'll see. So take a look at the Charizard. It says raw is $900. That might not be right. I actually think it's a little bit less than that, so you're in luck. You can probably find a copy for around $300-400. Gengar is on a tear, so Gengar might actually be more than Charizard. So if you want to take a look, go on eBay. The price here for a raw, what is that, reflects $555. I think that probably is a little too much, but this Gengar is pretty cool. It reminds me of like a Courage the Cow vibes. I love how it kind of looks all spooky. Just standing there. Imagine you're just walking through the desert, or you're in your backyard and you live in Colorado and you see this Gengar with his red eyes just looking at you. Pretty funny. The Blastoise is pretty cool. It's a little blurry to me, but it's like swimming through the water, so that's pretty cool Blastoise. Normally they always have him juxtaposed standing up, so I think it's pretty cool that he's swimming through the water. Very Fire Dragonite card. There's not much to it other than him just being there. Wizard of the Coast was known for that. They made these half kind of vibes with no real artwork like we see in the Illustrator rares. But that's kind of why I like Wizards of the Coast. It's very clean. Everything has that same kind of look feel. The Mewtwo, again, Mewtwo's on a tear. Very nice card. If you're on a Mewtwo collection spree, don't forget this one. So this is the second Charizard, the reverse. Not like the holo, it's a different variation. So if you want to collect all the Charizards, be sure to check out this one. Then Tyranitar, also on a tear. So this set had a lot of good Gen 1, Gen 2 Pokemon. And as you see, I like the Feraligatr a lot. It's a pretty cute card. The reverse is, and everyone's favorite, Mew. Bubble Mew right now is on an absolute tear. Again, that card's like almost $1,000 raw. I remember literally with my brother buying PSA 10 for like $200, and I said we had to get these. Should have gotten more, obviously. Ended up selling it for $800, and I traded for some boxes. Should have kept it. Then we have the Mew reverse. As you see, you're going to have to collect each and every card and the reverse if you want. Then we got the Charizard Holo Reverse and Charizard Non-Holo Reverse. So there's the Holo version, then there's the Reverse version, and there's the Non-Holo version, which is kind of crazy. Same thing for Skyridge. Very cute Clefable. Again, you were seeing some more of the same card. There's 3 cards for the rares, and then there's 2 cards for all the others. Very nice Butterfree, with all its friends. If you all remember, Butterfree was introduced in the regular Pokemon, one of the original episodes. Bye-bye Butterfree. Pretty cool Blastoise. You see, this one's much more clear than the one next to it. It's a very cool Blastoise. Pichu obviously is the best Pokemon. The Pichu from the Neo sets are also very cute. There's a Typhlosion. Typhlosion has some very good cards in the Neo sets, so don't forget to check those out. This has Venusaur. So Expedition had Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. Pretty cool that they give all 3 love. We know some sets modern days, they don't give all 3 love in the same set. Again, Squirtle. If you're a Squirtle collector, this kind of one looks like one of the original clay Squirtles. I know they introduced kind of clay drawings and crochet drawings later on in Pokemon. And then we see here, we're getting to some of the same cards. Cubone. If you're a Cubone collector, make sure you get this Cubone. It's very sad. It looks like he's crying. And we all know the story, probably over his mother. And then this Squirtle is honestly my favorite. It's probably one of the best Squirtles. I may be mistaken, but I think they actually made this in a different variation as well from another set. And the Charmander wagging its tail. It's on fire. Squirtle is enjoying its night out. Very cool Machamp. I love the vibes of that one. I actually haven't seen that one. I do have a bunch of Expedition cards, but mostly just regular cards, not the holo rares. Very nice Cloyster, another Charmander, so there's multiple Charmanders in this set, so if you're a Charmander collector, don't forget to get them both. Then we have the Bulbasaur thanking the sun gods. At least that's what it looks like. Very hot day out, and Squirtle's like, oh my god, please let it rain. And then we got another Bulbasaur lying out in the sun, basking, enjoying the weather. Then we got Magby card, so I love this because it has all the babies in it. And we all love Magmar from the original version, so it's cool to see they gave it a baby. Then we got the Raichu. Everyone loves Raichu. This Raichu reminds me of the Paldea Evolve one, where he's like in a bubble. And then just some more cards. Charmeleon, that one's really cool. Kind of very, not crayon, but You know, those pens that look like pencils. Now I forget what they're called. Very cute Pikachu card. Very nice Magikarp card. Magikarp cards do well. We know the Paldea Evolve one's like, what, $400. So if you're a Magikarp collector, don't forget this. Then we got the Feraligatr. We got some more Typhlosions. So this set had really cool cards. A lot of repeat and double cards. And then another Magby. Vulpix. Very cute. Let's just go through some of these. You know, I love showing the vintage stuff. I love collecting vintage. Right now I'm trying to collect the Legend Maker, which is from the EX era. You know, this Haunter. So a lot of these cards are expensive. As you see, they're in their $20 just for regular cards. And as we keep scrolling, let's take a look at that. You know, that Chansey's cool with the Apom. It's kind of hurt. I love how it gives an homage to the Pokemon actual show where Chansey's helping out. And that's why I like the one from where he's like in the Pokemon Center. The one where there's also the Eevees. I forget what set that is, but it's a modern day set. And then the copycat card is actually pretty expensive. It for a trainer card. I believe that card is also in the Team Rocket EX era, and they keep making that card. Corsola cute. You know, it's sleeping. I don't know how it's sleeping in the water without choking on the water. And then we see the Rattata, some more basic cards. You know, I love showcasing kind of the artwork, even though the regular cards. You know, Pidgey running through the grass. Hopefully you don't run into it 100 times in Pokemon Yellow. There is the Magmar. Moo Moo Milk is probably the best trainer card of all time. You know, little Cleffa is trying to steal some milk, but we gotta make sure he pays for that. They also remade that card in some other sets. You know, that's a cute Marill. You know, the Marill, I think it's from Paldea Evolve, actually went on to be like $30, $40, which is crazy. And we keep scrolling, and we see Ekans, pretty cool, scary Ekans card. Pretty cool Larvitar card. I believe I've seen that Larvitar card, maybe from Obsidian Flame, like the rare. Meowth. That's a pretty cool Bellsprout, Pokemon Reverse, Electabuzz, and you all get the point. So, you know, this case really showcased Pokemon's artwork and their different designs that they've been able to do over the years. So I love that Pokemon keeps changing up. We know that the artwork gets redone every like 3 months. They're basically a new set. So hopefully Pokemon continues to do that. I don't know how much y'all like this vintage stuff. Let me know if you're an Expedition fan. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We will start to get into Modern later on in this channel, but first I want to showcase every set pretty much until we get to Modern, because everyone does the Modern and we forget about the old. So I really appreciate you all watching. Stay tuned and have a great week.